Hello. Ooh, this is a bit dark. My ring light is still broken. And many other things are also broken. But if I put something on screen that's like mostly white colored, if I can find something. There we go. A little bit of illumination there. Hi. It's me. Remember me? I used to do streaming back in the day. Then I got a job. How's everyone doing? It's Sunday. Not that I have any kind of regular streaming day. And, yeah, I went out, and it looks quite nice and cool, but it is also humid as fuck because of a very light rain shower earlier this morning. So I came back all hot and sweaty, had to have a shower, managed to clean the kitty litter out. I've got Poppy on the camera, there. The Poppy cam is recharging from a big extra battery I've attached, so hopefully that's enough to counteract the drain from running the camera. And yeah, I really had no plan today other than do the stream and launch the things, because I want to do the streams if I have the brain capacity to do so. Lately I have not had the brain capacity to do so because I have been working my ass off for like the man. But yeah, like we've been slowly doing a little bit of game dev for DOSember here and there, and I thought, you know what I would like to do? I would like to do more of that. But I'm not prepared because this was a very spur of the moment decision to attempt to do the stream. So what to do? I do kind of want to show you, like on my desk here in front of me, I have a bunch of goodies because although I haven't had the energy for doing my little pet projects and things, I have had the income to be able to purchase random shit off AliExpress that I would normally use for my pet projects. So I have a little bag of buttons here, little clicky buttons. And I have this lovely thing, Adafruit 6x5 ortho keyboard snap apart thingy. You can use it to make a macro pad, and I shall do that. And I've got little multimeter probes. Oh yes, very nice. And this is an empty bag. This is a little voltage boost kit thing that looked fun. These are buck boost converters, yes. I have a bunch of crocodile clips. Nom nom. And it's not limited to electronics things. I bought some more of those nice socks that I have with cats on them, and another couple of scrunchies. And this one is very nice and sort of silky smooth. I don't know if it's like actually velvet or some other material, but it is nice. I don't want to sneeze. So yeah, what the hell was I doing for this DOSember game jam is the question. DOSBox. If I can like remember what I was doing and like maybe add a tiny bit of extra stuff to this project, I'll call it a win for today. S-run? Yes. Alright, so we're using this one? I think we were, yeah. We have a quick basic program here called Iffy, Interactive Fiction for You. And if I run it, it's just a 2 lines of thing. But there's a main menu that we've got on the F1 key. Woohoo! There's only one thing you can do. You can import a background. And being as this is not a particularly advanced setup here, there's no file picker. You have to type in the file name that you wish to import, which in our case is title. And this is something I just scribbled together in DensQuix's DOS draw program, which is very cool. Kind of emulates the draw program from actual DOS. And it lets us make cool 80 by 25 EGA text art. And the idea that I have is that we can make a thing for people to string these screens together, kind of like a PowerPoint presentation for DOS, and you can make interactive fiction with that. Like, you know, you could have a couple of different routes or whatever, or if we're being ambitious, very, very limited inventory management. And I'm sure someone could put something together with that. Like, making a game for DOS could be pretty intimidating if you're just starting from scratch. But if you can give someone a game engine and they've got those creative juices flowing, all sorts of fun stuff can come out of that. So I want to enable that. Now, how are we going to do that? What were we doing last time, and what are we going to do this time? I did have Git going, so let's consult the Git log. YGY, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. How's things going for you? I have been very busy with work. Not that work is particularly demanding of me. It's a normal kind of job. It's pretty chill, really. But I have limited capacity for being able to do things. Hi, Cat. Had a witch hat. Yes. It's an option for the Capagen overlay thing that I'm using for Twitch. A lot of people use the same overlay, and it'll add little witch hats for people, for emotes during the month of October. Git. So if I go to the DOS directory in the feeder tree, I can do a git log. What was I doing last time? Fixes for paths and start pulling out generic menu renderer. Aha. I finished the 10 weeks of 60-hour work weeks last week. 10 weeks of 60-hour work weeks. That's 600 hours. That is a lot. I'm glad you've got through that, and hopefully you can relax a bit now. This screen is supposed to have background music. You see down there it says Commander Keen, Keen 6, Commander Keen's fanfare, but it is broken. Why is it broken? Do I need to percussive maintenance it? Okay, that's working. It's a bit quiet. That'll do, I think. So yeah, I was still working on menu stuff with this thing. And that's fair enough, because most of the editing tools we want to give to people will be just like choosing things from a menu. Like there'll be a list of scenes that they have, there'll be a list of buttons to edit. I don't know. But one thing I noticed we're doing at the moment was, like, when you run it, I was setting things up so that you can open the menu and close the menu. And that's restoring the background that was there previously. That's neat. But if we go and actually like load the background, it'll do that. But then when we close this, it restores this background, which is not what we want at all. We probably want to actually start having some kind of render function that will... The thing is also, though, that this import function that we've made here... menu edit? It's not actually importing it. Because what we're doing is we're loading the DOSdraw file. But what we should do after that... right here, I've written it here myself. Do more actual import. Because we need to convert that file to the quick basic file that we can load and save really quickly. Yeah. And we probably need to save it to like a scene object so we know which file is associated with this scene and what have you, but that probably would have to come later. And it sounds like, yeah, my playlist just stops when that file gets reached. What the hell? Lots of technical difficulties today. Hooray. So what do I have the brain capacity to work on today? I'd really, really like to be able to get this game semi-usable in time for DOSember, and it's already the end of October. I'm not going to be participating in No DOS November, so I will be able to work on this through that. But November is also going to be a very busy time for my work. It looks like I was doing a bit of stuff on this, so we could actually like properly import. Like, this should be its own function, honestly. So let's do that. What does this 0 do for DOSdraw load screen, do you suppose? Debug. Okay. Not going to bother with that then, that's fine. And it looks like I've commented out that screen flipping code. That's good, because we'll want the game engine itself to figure out the screen flipping. So, menu edit, import DOSdraw. This is a function that does not exist yet. But we can make it exist. And this is fine to put in the main program code, I think. We'll have it load slowly on screen, because that's good enough as a progress bar. Once it's loaded, we need to then b-save it. And we need to b-save it to a file name that is like this file name, but with a .bs extension. I remember last time I was attempting to do some kind of, yeah, here it is, base path stuff. But this doesn't look like it's messing around with file name extensions. And this has been incredibly frustrating to do with DOS file names, because QuickBasic has been enforcing the DOS file name rules in some places, but not in terms of like, does that file exist? No, it doesn't exist because it's an invalid file name. No, it will just error out and crash the program. I need to equalize this music. So, what are we doing? What are we doing? Can't really vibe code this QBasic stuff, can you? It might be possible if you were doing like C code for DOS, maybe? But still, I wouldn't really trust the output. I think what I want is something generic to give me the file name but without the extension. Am I going to be using it enough, though, that I want it as a separate function? Because I can just use instr here. Oh, but I need like the last dot in the file name, because in theory you can have dots. Well, what we'll do is, yeah, we'll call this base path thing, and that will get us the path and the file name. Returns base path with the backslash and file name without the backslash. Okay. Yeah. So let me call that on selected file name. And we return into base path and file name. Oh, damn it! I hate how QuickBasic does this. Because I've made a variable name here called base path, and it's all lowercase. And I had a subroutine called base path, but it was title case. It's arbitrarily squashed the name of this thing. No. Stop that. Oh my gods. Okay, what if I did this? Oh, that's different. Okay, yeah, cool. For fuck's sake. Let's change that. Right. There. We'll put a thing in front of it. Wait, I think my original was not capital P. Because I usually keep that as just one word. And I can't call that selected file names now, can I? Because, Saving the streak. If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. I mean, it gives people channel points, which is fun, and I do need to add more fun things to spend channel points on. I'm glad Twitch has been addressing the whole missed streak thing, because I think that has been a big psychological burden on a lot of people. There. Now we're splitting the file name thing. I do feel like maybe there is some potential for a version of inString that just gives you the last occurrence, and we could put that in utils.bas. I mean, I don't think there's anything built in, but we can use the handy online help. Yeah. I mean, we could probably write it ourselves and iterate backwards through the string. But I could also just copy-paste this code that I already wrote and trust that it works. So if we go to utils, here's the thing, we've got to go to utils, the include file. Now there was a way I discovered of doing that, somewhere here in the menus. Included file. There we are. What are we calling this thing? Reverse inster? And it's gonna take what is the order of parameters that regular inster uses? It's kind of a problem with Quick Basic, is the order of parameters and the way they've done things is not really standardized, very ad hoc. But I mean, for grep you use needle and haystack, so maybe we'll do that. And we don't need to specify a starting index because we're starting at the end, effectively. Although it would be handy to have an offset to start with. If you were doing that kind of string, I don't know, it'll make it too complicated. Segment the strings, then we'll do it. So needle. Alright, so I've declared it, and now I need to actually write it. Function reverse inster needle haystack. So what we'll do is last match So we also need to update this. We're looking in haystack string for needle string. And it does look like the order is reversed as to what one would expect compared to regular Insta. Hooray. Mr. Sinks, welcome in. Is this your Silo-themed horror game idea you had while we were watching Silo? Absolutely not. Nowhere near. This is going to be way too janky and cobbled together, and the idea I had is something for a much, much later day, and when I'm using like a proper 3D game engine, maybe. I don't know. Stardrop, welcome in. Hello, sorry I'm late. How's the litter tray going? Litter tray is good. I'm currently switched to this litter called, from the company called Rufus and Coco, I think it's called. It's a combination, by the looks of it, of clumping clay and activated charcoal. Very fancy. But it does do a decent job of keeping the smells down. So hey. How are yous going, Mr. Sinks, Stardrop? How's your weekend been? Hope it's been good. I've been mostly sleeping. But I found myself with a bit of energy to spare, so I was like, you know what I should do? I should do a little stream. Because it's been forever. And I really want to finish this game, or at least get it somewhat working, usable, before DOSember. My weekend has been alright. My mood has been a bit low lately. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Can be difficult. Like, I've been a little concerned, actually, with my own mental health, because putting all of my energy into working the corporate job means I don't have the energy at the end of the week to do fun things and make cool things, and this was a big source of serotonin for me. So I'm just kind of coasting on what I had before. It's not ideal. So yeah, I'm hoping I can make something of this DOS Game Jam thing that we're doing here, because that would be nice. Yeah, look after your mental health, people. So while we are searching is find path. I could probably update this code, I think, to cut out this extra variable. I think that might be superfluous. Wish you could work 3 days a week or something. That would be great. I would totally be down for that. Unfortunately, society. So yeah, I mean, like, we're doing searching equals find path. So I could probably just say
just subscribe, you bloody legend, Neko stream.
Thundercats! Ho!
Yeah. That got cut off a little bit early. Mem, NecoStream, hello, how are you doing, Mem? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the sub. If you don't know Mamela, what the bloody hell are you doing? She has been streaming on Twitch and now also TikTok and doing music. And it is really cool to see her progression at learning music things and stuff. It is cool. I'm good, how are you? I am just about able to do a stream. And I was like, you know what I should do? I should do a stream. Yeah, that's about it, really. Like, because I took Friday off work because I had a bit of a sore throat and was feeling a bit crap. Although I've been a bit sick, I've had one more day to recuperate from the work, and today I found myself with like, oh yeah, I could maybe possibly do a bit of a stream. So yeah, I'm doing this game thing for the DOSember game jam. Bang DOSember. Bang jam. And right now we are writing a function to go backwards through a string, or not really backwards, to keep searching through a string until we find the last instance of a given substring. And I want that because I want to go through a file name and find the extension and pull the extension off and replace it with a different extension, because we're importing a file and converting it. Want to mangle the file name extensions like that. And it occurs to me that I don't even yet have a place to save the resulting file, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of work that needs to be done on this to make it like usable. But I mean, it's fun just doing it, so even if it's not ready by December, it'll still be good to do, like, as a stream. Anyway, searching. So we're going to search for the last match plus one, and then continue going through it. And this variable has changed. So if we did find something, then the last match is where we were searching. And of course, if we didn't find something, then this loop ends and we return the last actual match. And yeah, Poppy has graced us with her presence, so we have a bit of a Poppy Cam going. The Poppy Cam was dangerously low on battery. I saw a special screen when I'd booted it up that I'd never seen before, saying like the phone will shut down in 17 seconds. But I've hooked up a battery to it, so we should be good. Last match is searching, versus true. Okay, I think we've got this function here that would work the way I want it to. Which means we could then use it in import DOSdraw. We could say .pos equals reverse inster needle haystack. Needle is a dot. Haystack is selected file names. And yeah, actually this is good. I have accidentally stumbled on the solution I needed. We do need the base file name because ultimately we're going to save this in a directory which contains all the game assets. So we need to change the file name that we're using. Now how do I change part of a string? There's a bunch of functions like midstring that we could look up. Midstring, string variable, start length equals string expressions. And I do really like Quick Basic here, or QBasic, because you've got this immediate area where you can just try shit out. It was absolutely fundamental to being able to learn to program on your own without any internet access. You've got this online help, and you've got this immediate zone where you can just try things and see how it works. So let's say, like, print midstring file name dot bas. No, hang on. I want to. File names is file name dot bas. Yeah. Now, we can just print file names. That didn't do anything. There it is, file name bas. We could also go midstring file names start. That would be character 9. Length we could omit, and I think maybe that will just be everything from there to the end of the string, hopefully. And we could change it to .foo. And now if we print file names, it's filename.foo. That's exactly what we need. It's weird. Some of these built-in functions can be used as L values, which means you can assign stuff to them. And of course, some of them don't, because it's Quick Basic and it's not really coherent, but this is fine. That will change the extension of the file. And we could then save it. Save it to... Like, here's the trick. We now need, like, to have the concept of a game directory. So if I do files here, you can see we've got ify.bas, we've got ify.exe, blah, 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 blah. Like, I would probably want to have one directory at this level for all of the game data, and then people can make their own games by supplying their own directory. And this is another thing I needed to look up, actually. Like, can Quick Basic take command line arguments? And what is that SDFS file? Because that looks like me going on the file thing. Yep, it's 0 bytes long. I'm just going to delete it. So we need this concept of the current game directory that we're using, and that sounds like a global. So I'm just going to put it here. And I'll call it game name. There. And this load game function doesn't do anything at the moment. But what we could do is say load game demo, and I could make dir demo here actually. And there is a concept of a current directory for QuickBasic at least. Print. What's it called? Curder? Curder. Okay, cool. There's this annoying concept of different drives in DOS, so you can have current directories on different drives that are different. I'm going to ignore that. We're using DOSBox. We're pretty much just using the C drive, being, of course, the first letter of the alphabet, C. So we'll just do that. And this will tell us where we are. C\ify. Okay. So what we could do is print current dir. Gamedir. Does this have a backslash? It doesn't. So we could go and say what is this music from? Ah, Heretic. I suppose I should actually only do this if loading is successful. I always found it confusing that when I had both 3 1/4 quote mark and 5 1/4 quote mark floppy drives, sorry, 3 1/2 quote mark, 5 1/4 quote mark, inch? What about inch? The 3 1/2 quote mark was conventionally A, despite being the newer technology. Ah, right. Yeah, it's, there was this weird transition period. Sorry, it was a double quote, I know. I'm just being facetious. Yeah, the transition period between the two different drive types and like your early IBM PC, which just had 2 removable drive slots, no internal drive, no, that was for people with lots of money. Yeah, it's led to some very weird design decisions that have stuck with Windows to the current day. I do like the Alone in the Dark soundtrack. I just wanted to hear you say them verbatim again, lol. Quote mark, double quote mark. So the game name is that, which means the game directory is curder plus backslash plus game names. And I might want to save that to a directory, honestly. QuickBasic is very fastidious about not letting you leave a line when you haven't got valid syntax on it yet. It doesn't matter if I'm just in the process of juggling some lines around. It will say, no, stop. I expected an expression here. I say apostrophe in quotation, not sure why. That's true, yeah. They have different names. How do you feel about Windows-style drive names versus Unix-style everything in one file system style? Definitely put everything in the one file system with a root. That is the way to go. Because then you can... It's an abstraction. Yeah, you just mount a drive somewhere in the file system. It makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you can move it somewhere else. All of my computers actually have this is Yang. So Yang has a directory /Yang right at the root of the file system where I keep all of the machine-specific stuff, like all the configuration that I do to it. Same for Yin. It's just been my convention over the years that I've settled on. So this is me fiddling around with my load game function, but then that in theory gives us yeah, I'll do both of these variables. gamedev. And I don't normally really like the Hungarian notation for like, oh, this is a global or whatever. But in the case of QBasic, I think I kind of need to keep track of which variables are globals. Because the scoping is not easy, and I can't easily pass things through a bunch of functions, and you just end up having to rely on global state. There, that'll help us. So, when we were importing this, we were like, oh, but which directory do we put it in? Now we have the answer to that question. So we could use one of our utility functions that we had. Oh, we had a B convert screen already. But it was more simplistic than we wanted, so that's fine. I might want to copy this though, because that looks useful. Alchemical, welcome in. How are you doing? What have you been up to lately? Brandish 4. I have not heard of this one. So let's see. I think we can do the screen initialization stuff here, and that's fine. We'll just do it once. We're not going to be changing screen modes or anything much. And actually, shouldn't we be setting like a particular screen mode? Like screen 13 or something? EGA text only, that's what we want. Screen 0, text mode only. Okay, I think one of these zeros is actually saying we should be in screen 0. Mode, color switch, active page, visible page, cool. I'm alive and still employed. I'm glad to hear that, Alchemical. That's two necessities of the world that we live in. In theory, I like Linux having one copy of each command and library, and they all do different things, and if multiple applications need one, it just gets installed once, instead of having DLs. But then in practice, you end up getting things like Docker and Snap, and it defeats the point. Yeah, Linux sharing, like, the libraries and things is really good, because then if you've got a vulnerability in a library, like security update needed, you update that one copy of it, and all of your programs now have the secure version. And the way it's laid out made it very easy for the early days of Linux live CDs to function, because you had a big separation of the stuff that needed to be writable versus the stuff that was happily immutable. Like they were in different directory paths, so it was easy. But yeah, then we get to like shipping software for the web and what have you, and Docker is very useful for that, because you kind of need to bundle the exact dependencies that you built your software with, because software dependencies are changing so much these days. It's not ideal, but I think I'm happy enough with it for like, I want my base system to be Debian, and I manage all of the libraries and stuff there, and it's nice and stable and secure. And then for occasional random software from the web, like Lossless Cut, I'll download an app image or whatever. And yeah, I'm downloading a bunch of extra copies of stuff that I don't need. But in that case, it's not like critical... It's not a critical part of my desktop. It's just an app. It is nice and self-contained, and I don't need to care about keeping the dependencies in sync with it. Okay, we load the game demo, and what do we do with that? We import the DOS.draw file, and now we have a directory we can copy it to. So we find our B save screen. What was it called? B save screen. It's just the file names, and we dump the contents of the video RAM to disk. So we need to construct a path based on gamedev and a backslash and the selected file name after we've mangled it. And wait, that's not the right variable. We were using selected base name. Selected base name. Selected base name. Selected base name. That's where all the base went. Oh, by the way, I graduated a week and a half ago. Congratulations, Stardrop. Do I have like hype emotes? Hype. This will do. Congratulations, Stardrop. Have these hype words with little witch hats on top of them. Well done. It's been a long journey for you, I know. Congratulations. Thank you. I honestly thought I'd never made it to this point. Well, yeah, it probably went on for a long time, hey. What are you gonna do now? Oops. Okay, so we import it, then we save it, then what? It would be nice to sort of have a pop-up saying file imported, but that'll do. What we'll do is include I mean, it would be nice if this function told us what the imported file name is. So maybe we'll actually add a second parameter here. I haven't really been using quick basic functions very much that return things traditionally. I've been more in the habit of having a subroutine, which is a completely different thing, return a name by you pass it the parameter. No, I actually want it the file name, don't I? Because it's like, it'll be in the game directory. We don't care where. Are imported file names. And then we can take that out. And we can go back to our menu where we triggered all of this ages ago. And maybe we'll just do a little beep or something to show that it's worked. I don't know. I have a couple of side jobs for the moment, that's good. And one of them may or may not attract funding to turn it into a real job, but I don't know if I want it to be or not. So we'll see how it goes. Well, good luck with whatever you end up going for. Continued employment is tricky at the moment. So let's run this and actually see if it will work. Argument count mismatch. Cool beans. We'll fix that. Declare sub are imported file names. Gotta dot your I's and cross your T's. Oh. Why would it paste like that? There we go. Alright, we have a bit more text now. Game name is demo. Game directory is ify demo. Good, good, good. Remind me, what's the difference between a subroutine and a function? In Quick Basic specifically, let's see if we've got examples. Utils. In Quick Basic specifically, you've got two different kinds of thing. You've got a function, and it will take parameters in parentheses, and it returns a basic data type. So in this case, it's returning a string type. And the way you tell it what you're returning is, unlike a lot of languages with a return keyword, you just assign to the name of the function. And then in my case here, I'm exiting the function and it returns. So you can use this as like an assignment operator thing. You can go in your menu, you can go key string equals get key string and call that function. So that's a lot closer to the sort of functions you might see in other programming languages, with the restriction that it can only return the primitive data types. You can't return anything fancy, you can only return one thing. You'll see these other ones, which are not using parentheses to call them, because gotta be different somehow, I don't know. So in this case, draw menu is a subroutine. And you do declare the arguments in parentheses, but you don't call it with them, otherwise Quick Basic thinks you're calling a function. And they specifically do not return anything. And that's, as far as I know, the only difference between the two. And yeah, most modern programming languages, sorry, this is a bit loud. Most modern programming languages do not make a distinction between the two kinds of thing. Furthermore, we're not in first-class function territory here, so we can't pass a function into another function, or cool fucking things like that. So I'm having to work around a lot of that sort of thing that I would normally do in other programming languages. Guess that makes sense for drawing or writing to disk. Yeah, you just kind of have code that I want to put somewhere else in its own little nook. And if we import a background and import title, we can import this. Illegal function call. All right. Why? This worked fine when I was trying it before. Illegal function call. I mean, I suppose we have to make sure that .pos is a valid index. Where you going, Poppy? You don't want to be on stream? Well, the nice thing is, it's aborted us in the middle of the program, and we can actually print things like .pos 6. That seems correct. Title.dat. That's index 6 because Quick Basic likes indexing strings from 1. Title.dd, yeah. Output file path. Why is it an invalid function call? Like, we did this before. String variable start length equals string expression. We did this before and it worked fine. Selected base name is even a string variable in our local scope, so it's not like I'm trying to overwrite something I'm not allowed to. Why did this not work? What if I copy that and print that out? Illegal function call. Okay. Illegal. But we know that .pos is 6 and selected base names is title.dd. So why would this be an illegal function call? That makes no sense. I mean, I suppose we can do it differently with the left string and right string and what have you. Should we try that? Print left string. Oh, I said DOSpos there. Oh, duh. Fuck off, QBasic. I did a typo. It's DOSpos, but I meant .pos. There we go. This works fine as long as you use the correct variable name. Like, this would have been magically created and then initialized to, I guess, 0. And calling it with an index of 0 is indeed not appropriate for this function call. But this is why I prefer languages that let you declare your variables, because instead of saying illegal function call, we could have said that variable doesn't exist yet. You didn't tell me that variable exists yet. So import background, import title dd, import it, make a little beep, exit this. We could do the files command. And there it is, title.bs. So we've successfully imported the title screen there. I mean, we still need to do a whole bunch of extra stuff, but that's gotten us slightly closer to our eventual goal. Like, it would be nice to also tell the user that it's been imported properly and what have you, but yeah. That's great. Let's actually save all. I don't know if I've got some... I probably don't have unsaved files, because when it runs it has to kind of save everything. And I will git commit that. Meow. Did you hear that? Meow. How about that? Git commit -a. Hi. You hungry? Poppy wants snacks. It's 3 o'clock, Poppy. It's not dinner time yet. Would you like some treats? You want to come on stream for some treats? I would move the camera, but the camera, like I said, was low on battery, so I've kind of hooked it up to a big power bank. No, hang on, I can do this. Don't want treats. Well, how about that? Poppy doesn't want treats, everybody. I've been giving her bonus wet food here and there in an attempt to fatten her up and also get her back to eating her biscuits. Like, I'll reward her. If she eats some biscuits, she gets some wet food. But the consequence of that is, unfortunately, that now she wants me to give her little wet food snacks all the time throughout the day, and not in just one big dinner time load. I'm a bit hungry myself, actually. Have I eaten? I think I've really eaten properly today. This is fine. We'll do a little streamy stream. I can get some more of this game going. I'm not going to limit myself to only adding to the game if I'm streaming, because that's not going to go anywhere very fast. That's draining me too quickly. So if I do get the urge to work on the game off stream, I'll just do it. And we can have a good look at the game later when it's finished. For the DOSember Game Jam, and it'll be fun. Assuming I actually get it working. So, I kind of wanted to fix up the whole menu situation, didn't I? And we're getting now to the point where we could have a concept of a current scene. And once we've got that, we can actually have like a renderer function that will be like, okay, you've opened the menu, you've closed the menu, I'm gonna re-render the game scene. So that's what I want to try and work towards, I guess. We would want Mm. How do I want to, like, index the scenes? Because they'll probably be numeric, but the user will also want to associate names with them. And we might possibly want to share the backgrounds between some scenes. Or, you know, they could be duplicated, it's fine. It's not like we're going to run out of hard disk space. And what I could do as sort of a bit of a trivial optimization is, oh, I banged the mic there. The screen command it lets us do this active page, visible page thing. And depending on what mode we're using, we get several off-screen pages we can use. And I was thinking I could just dedicate one of those off-screen pages to the background that the user has loaded. But I need to know how many, like what the range of those is then, right? Wow, really? You said no treats, Poppy, so I'm not getting you treats. What early dinner? You're gonna have to be cute and come on stream. Yeah? Attributes and colors. Screen mode summary. Yeah, it's the same summary as before. I mean, we could just try putting numbers into there and see when it throws an error at us. Hello, Stephmatician. Welcome in. Good to see you. How are you doing? Is there any more? Yeah, there's details. Okay. Meow. Ah, there we go. See adapters and displays for the valid ranges for A page and V page for each graphics adapter. So it does depend on like what hardware we've got. Slowly but surely, trying to get another job app done today. Good luck. We are all rooting for you. Hunting for jobs is a slog and nobody likes it. And it can be very demotivating, but you got it. You got this, it's fine. So if, for example, we had a CGA graphics adapter, that's a bit of a tautology, a color graphics adapter, we're using mode 0, 80 by 25 columns, we could have 4 pages available. If we were really like fancy and we're using an EGA adapter, EGA adapter with that many pages. Double quote mark B, whatever that is. B. Screen memory divided by page size. 8 page maximum, 1 page minimum. So it looks like between 4 and 8. Since we're just running this through DOSBox, we could just say, screw it. We'll assume 8. But there are a few peeps in the retro gaming community who have actual hardware that they can run these things on. And wouldn't it be nice if we could run on just something with a CGA display? So maybe I'll just say 4 is the maximum number of pages we'll actually try using. Yeah, and who needs income and a house, right? Yeah, weaklings and cowards. I'm going to escape to the one place not yet corrupted by capitalism. Space! Alright, so what I'll do is I'm going to define some constants. How do I do that? There was a way. Constant? Const. Constant name equals expression. Cool. Give me an example. Const blank equals blah 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 blah. Okay. I thought I was in the G-Funks channel for the moment. I'm glad you kept the panting break before space. You look at his expression when he's doing that, he's just like... he's so happy. He knows that this is an amazing line that he's delivering. So I want to declare some constants, and we'll make it like a page, I guess, fine, equals 0. And we'll say BG page for just the background is 3. And maybe we'll use 1 and 2 for something, I don't know. Like we can draw, like we'll keep the background on page 3. And we'll have like drawing the UI page for 2. And I wish I could use underscores in these constant names, but it actually won't let you. Having to go to the space for the rest of your life sounds terrifying. It would be a new level of being alone. Yeah, you'd need to like bring a few books or something. You're just going to flop on the floor there. If I move the camera... If I move the camera, she might get up. But it's just a risk we'll have to take. Cat owners, I'm sure, are all very familiar with the concept that if you make any motion at all that looks like it might be in the direction of the kitchen, the cat will immediately decide, I know what's happening next. You're going to the kitchen to feed me dinner. But you have to wait, Poppy. You have to wait. Poppy looks comfy. Yeah, she's not too bad today. It's not been so ridiculously hot that we've just melted. So... we've done the import of the DOS file. But what we really ought to do is then have a function that like loads the thing that we just put on disk and loads it into the background. And we would kind of call this like load scene. I think it would be load scene. You should take Puppy to work. It probably has air conditioning. Well, I have been... I do a thing which brings me great joy. I have set up my laptop on my work desk at work, moved out of the frame, and taken a picture with the work laptop webcam. And then I've used that as my virtual Meet/Zoom background and fooled many people into thinking that I am actually still in the office. And occasionally I've even brought Poppy onto the camera and said, look, there's a cat in the office. And even managed to fool people briefly with that as well. But yeah, I don't think Poppy would actually like the office too much. There's people who likes people, really. It doesn't have a good place for her to take a shit. The office is like it is allowing dogs here and there. I think you have to like book in advance. But yeah, I don't think cats would work well with the office unless, you know, you do get cases where there's a dedicated office cat. And then, like, you know, there's a dedicated person to look after the cat, and they kind of just live in the office, or maybe go home with the nominated person at the end of the day. That can be good. But Puppy gets anxious enough when she's going to the vet. I don't think I could bring her on the commute. Cats accurately understand that commuting to and from work is bullshit. How do I apply to be such a person? I have no idea, Stardrop. If I knew, I would be doing it. So we load game demo. What I reckon we need to do is, as part of load game, we need to load a scene. Like, we need to load whatever the current scene is. And like, for now, I think we have to just say we load scene bg file bg base name. So we'll have something like that. Illegal in sub function or def function? Why are you taking issue with me now, Quick Basic? Some of these error messages are so obtuse. Alternatively, how do I apply to be such a cat? Yes, I wish I were a cat. No school, no work, just meow meow. Whenever I'm in this undisclosed area on the street, I smell spices which put me in mind of yak meat. We get some pretty nice smells from my neighbors sometimes. I think they actually sometimes put Poppy in the mood for dinner. It's like, oh, the neighbors are cooking something nice. We should have dinner now as well. Isn't that right? Yeah. Dinner later, okay? I reckon we'll probably see how long Poppy can hang out. And then when we do finally give in and give her some early dinner, we'll have that at the tail end of the stream. You should tell your neighbors they smell nice. Yeah. Does Poppy know the word dinner? Yes. So why is it complaining at me? Oh, I get it. Illegal in sub function or whatever doesn't refer to this. It refers to this. But I'm just trying to do this shorthand way to trick the editor into making the function for me. There we go. So what we'll do is b load screen except we would also be doing it with gamedev plus backslash plus blah. And also we would want to switch what the active screen is and load this in the background. So what we would do, screen 0, 0. What's the mode for it? Active page, visible page. So active page stays 0. No, wait. Active page is the background one, which I've forgotten what our constant was. And visible page... Oh, I see, yeah. Let's do that. Let's go back to where we defined those constants and fix them up. Visible page, draw UI page, BG page. Okay. So visible page is 0 and is that one. BG page is there, and that's where we'll keep the background on. So we switch the screen, we load it, and then we put it back where it was. We are writing to visible page. We are displaying visible page. That's loading the scene, that's not rendering the scene. We need a separate function for rendering it, because we want to stick user interface elements and stuff on it. But that will load the data into that background page, which is what we kind of want. And I guess, like, for the import DOS draw one, we could save ourselves a bit of energy and just say we'll load it into the background like we do normally. This will have the effect of, if we're running this thing, path file access error, reload screen file name static. You see, we get so many of these weird ass errors. Print file names. Where is it? Oh, we're not rendering to the correct screen anymore, so that's screwy. Backslash. Yeah, that's not good. So what's the call stack looking like? This would be as part of load scene. And apparently we're trying to load scene with this being empty and this also being empty. This one being empty I can understand, but this one I don't.
Well, really? No, we're not going to yet.
My patience will eventually wear thin, and I'm just going to have to give up and give her some food. Need to balance the audio on my playlists. Would a compressor work? I could probably just shove a compressor on it. Can I do that now? Can I just do some stream stuff right now? Because otherwise I'm never going to get around to doing it. Browse a generic background music. It's 4 hours before Rocket's dinner. Lucy has been begging for dinner since 9 AM, oh dear. Hey, Lucy! How do you add filters? I guess I do it on the source. Filter, audio filter. Cool. How do I do that on my microphone though? I would have to switch scenes to figure out how. Or maybe I just do it here or do it live. Yeah, we add a compressor. And I'll just leave it like that. Steam is now working on my Kakios install. I don't know what I did to get it work. I'm not familiar with Kakios. This all seems too hard. Why aren't you coding in assembly? Yeah, assembly would make things so much easier. I'm just going to leave this like that and see if that works. It's Arch Linux variant. Ah. Well, Arch has a very good wiki. It is very much like batteries included, but you have to also assemble everything yourself, but it does have a very good wiki. Why was this breaking then? So we're calling load scene in load game. Oh, this is why. I haven't set the loaded game stuff there. Yes, okay. And we don't know what even the default scene name should be called, but we can just hard code it. I love this music. This is the Dance Macabre by Saint Saëns. Is it Saint Saëns? But this is the yeah, this is the Alone in the Dark version. Which, if you solve the puzzle correctly, will play. Wait, you're making a game in BASIC. I am. Welcome in, MZ5860, if that is the correct way to pronounce your name. If it isn't, please let me know. I am using Microsoft Quick Basic 7. I used to use QBasic 4.5 a lot because it's what came with DOS 6. But Quick Basic, which is similar product to QBasic, has the distinct advantage of being able to create an exe out of it, So you can make actual standalone executables that you can then distribute. 123, the true one. Welcome in also. How are you? It's a Turkish name. I don't know how you... Oh, you don't care how I say it. Okay. M said. It's you again. Hello. Yes. Is this what plays in the ballroom with all the ghosts? Yes, that's the one, Stardrop. You can play a bunch of different records for the ghosts, and they will either get annoyed at you or they will enjoy it and have a little dance party. So we'll hardcode this for now to load title.bs, because we don't actually know what the first scene should be. And then in the menu editing mode where we import stuff, move this down a bit. We can import that. We should save it somehow. And what was I trying to do? I was saying basically, lol. Every time I say basically, you can assume that it's a very deliberate pun. Hilarious. I was saying that this change that I did... yeah, cool. We've loaded this background by default now. So our menu is kind of working how we want it to. But the trick is that if we wanted to import something different, it wouldn't immediately show up. Except it just did. That's not right. Why did that work? Oh, because, yeah. Because import DOSdraw, screen 00, BJ page, visible page. Do I have the order of these arguments correct? Active page and visible page. I always get really confused between the two of these. Active page is theoretically where we're writing stuff to. Oh, what if DOSdraw load screen is doing its own stuff? No, that's got commented out. Is this MS-DOS 5? No, this is DOSBox. So this isn't technically any kind of MS-DOS. It just happens to work similarly enough to DOS that you can run DOS programs in it. This is a cool menu. It reminds me of Dialog and Whiptail in Linux. Thank you. Yeah, like I'm trying to make it so that if I save everything, I can show you DOSBox briefly. Whoops, dirt. So it's got dir like you would expect, but it's also got ls, which is a bit more familiar to us Linux users. And yeah, I've got Quick Basic and QBasic both installed in here. And it's Quick Basic 7 that I'm using to actually set things up. Yes, Poppy, yes. And I have a hungry kitty who is occasionally nagging me that, could it be dinner time? Could it be dinner time now? No, it's not dinner time. Dirt. So, yeah, like I'm doing this retro coding in actual retro coding language. Because I'm a masochist. No, because it's fun. And it's different and entertaining, and my day job is programming, so we've got to find some way to make this entertaining. Otherwise I'll just burn out and don't want to do any kind of programming. And we're doing this for a DOS game jam. Bang jam. When DST starts, do you keep feeding her at the same clock time? Yeah, DST is tricky with cats. They know what time it really is. I try and ease her into it over a couple of days, basically. I'll be like, okay, fine, 4:30, whatever. But lately, we haven't been sticking to any particular time, and I've been giving her early dinner. Early dinner, yes. Not now. Soon. So, yeah, I was saying that I'd fixed something and it would break the loading, but then it didn't break the loading, so I don't know what was happening there. I'm just going to git commit what I've got. You can't see, but I also have a Linux terminal here. I've got Git running in it. There's no way I can write software anymore without some sort of source control. It's crazy. Cute cat, by the way. Said you're cute. Yeah. Thank you, she is. We can zoom in a bit here. There you are. She's very blurry. Focus. Her name is Poppy, like the flower. And she's originally my sister's cat, but my sister went on a long holiday, and then 2020 happened, and we all know how difficult that was. So she stayed with me for several years, and she's just kind of my cat now. She is hungry. So I have limited stamina for these streams. Day job is taking a lot out of me. So I want to get something working with this, and I'll do it on stream, but then eventually we can call it good, and I'll continue working on it off stream, and then maybe we'll get another stream and I'll do some more Game Jam. The aim is to get something working for the DOSember Game Jam, and this is very loud. Like, I do love the Jazz Jackrabbit soundtrack. But, yeah, get something working. DOS Game Jam. Doesn't have to be amazing, but what I'm imagining is some sort of interactive fiction game engine that works in the DOS text mode. Why is the cat staring at me, lol? Well, have you given her dinner yet? It's dinner time, surely. You must give her food. I only have this one screen that I've written here, and it's just like sketched together for a demo purpose. But we can, in theory, import a background from my other game. If I can remember what the directories were called. Game.dat endgame1 yes. Well, that's different. Oh, that's the wrong file to import, but you can see it's kind of had a good attempt at it. That's some nice glitch art, honestly. See, I like it when programs just try to go for it even though there's something obviously wrong. It's just, we'll try and import it anyway. C Struth. I would love to have like a full-on directory browser that's graphical here, but that is way out of scope for this project. C Struth game.dat endgame1.dat. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. And yeah, there we go. So we're still on the main game scene, which has loaded this file, even though we've loaded that into the background. And in theory saved it to disk as well. I need to have a look at that. And my stomach's grumbling at me. So why don't we quit this, and then we do files, demo. Oh, interesting. It's saved at endgame1.bst. That's not quite what we want. That's probably a bug in my file name mangling code. Maybe. But let's see if we could load endgame1.bs again. B load screen demo and endgame1.bs. Okay. ST. That's what we wanted. So it did get saved properly. That's weird. Honestly, as a programmer, it's more concerning when you believe the code should be breaking and it's not, than the opposite, where you believe the code should be working and it breaks. It's more concerning because now you don't know why it's working correctly. Local cat still hungry. Yes. Very apt. Oh. Moved slightly off camera. So I don't know why it saved it like that. Maybe let's have a quick look at our import thing. So like we were doing this blah 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 .bs stuff. I wonder if I should have gone with the left string function. Can you make windows in BASIC? Good question. I assume you're talking about like a Microsoft Windows style multi-window display thing. Like, you know, we've got here, I've got this little DOS kind of menu. You could do a graphical kind of thing. Like, I've seen some people do some really impressive stuff in QBasic. Like, really impressive. So I don't think there's anything stopping you. It's just it would get very verbose, and you'd probably have to use a bit of assembly language here and there too. You can kind of embed extra executable code with your basic code. So you're not limited to doing everything in BASIC. You can use some libraries that have been written in assembly or C for speed. Yeah, you could do it. I don't think I could do it. That would require a lot more time and energy than I have at the moment. But you could certainly have a go. I want to know why this failed. Like, if we have a look at some of this stuff, we could say selected base name equals endgame1 dot dat, and then you could say dot pos equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you could run this on it. Whoops, no, not Control C. This predates Control C and Control V. You have to do a very interesting combination of keys that I've memorized, but I couldn't tell you what they are, for copy-paste operations. There they are. Shift-del, Control-insert, and Shift-insert. So we run that, and then we print... Where is it? Endgame1.bst. There you go. It's not worked how I expected it to work. And we're on British Standard Time now, apparently. So what I actually need is something like print left string plus .bs. Type mismatch, DOS.pos percentage. Endgame1.bs, that's close to what we want. Yeah. Dinner later. It's 3:51. Maybe even dinner soon? We could give you dinner at like 4:30? Yeah, dinner at 4:30. Early dinner for Poppy, because she's so cute. So what we could do then is either we could decrement .pos or we could omit the dot from the thing there. That would get us the endgame1.bs that we actually wanted. And I'll have to have a little mental note there. That's not how midstring operates exactly. It's very convenient sometimes, but it'll include bits of the original string. So we go. We could even change the name of this while we're at it. Yes, QBasic. I'm in the middle of writing this, so if you don't mind, just permit me to have code that isn't syntactically correct for a moment while I go edit things. I think that will fix the bug. But 4:30 is really 3:30. Will she get hungry again before bed? Yes. Yes. She has been... because I've been spoiling her rotten, she's going back to the more sort of cat way of doing things, which is to have lots of small meals during the day. You know, she was previously on the human schedule of, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yes. But I think she prefers lots of small meals during the day. And frankly, I think that's been helping with the vomiting. You know, like not inhaling a huge amount of food in one go. Probably better for the cats anyway. Have I tried Turbo C? I haven't. Said. I used to have a copy of Borland Turbo C++ for Windows and DOS. You could make both things with it. I know that generally if people are doing like retro game making for DOS in the DOS community, they'll use Whatcom C++ or Turbo C++. But I haven't tried them. Because it's a bit of extra like boilerplate you have to do to make a game that like does graphics and things. I haven't really gotten into it yet. QBasic has been the thing I've just been reaching for. I'm at a pub where they're playing rugby league on the TV, and it's Tonga versus Samoa. Samoa's national anthem sounded operatic. Oh. Samoa para. Interesting. Can you stay on the camera screen, Poppy? There we go. So let's see. Git diff. Sorry, I'm not sharing my Linux terminal here, but I can go git commit a fix bug. Don't have to do good commit messages when I'm just doing solo development. It's lovely and refreshing. And we can delete those extra demo files. There we go. What was next on my list of things to do to make this slightly more of a game? We've got load scene here, and I said I was going to have a separate render scene. We could kind of do that. Like I need to keep data about what the scene is at the moment somewhere, I guess. If I had a good laptop, I would definitely stream. It is fun, I gotta say. Like, I started this back in 2020 as a way to stay socialized, despite everything. And yeah, it's been nice. I've made a lot of friends. And I haven't been streaming very regularly lately because I've got a job. Ugh, employment, right? But it's still, like, I feel it's still good to keep doing it once in a while at least. It's been good for me, like, relative to work as well, I guess, because I'm good at presentations now. And also I'm having fun with OBS's virtual camera for my Zoom and Google Meet meetings. I can have all sorts of nonsense going on because I can do the OBS things. Wow, really? Can you wait, though? Can you wait a bit longer? Dinner later. My worst dream. Alright, so I want a render scene function, and it might not do very much at the moment, but we will do things with it. Wow, really? Did you hear that? She's probably getting loud enough that the mic can pick her up. So what we'll do is we would be rendering UI elements. So, I mean, visible page stays the same, right? But we would be doing the, did I call it draw UI? Draw UI page, okay. Draw UI page. So we're drawing to that. But what we'll do is we'll use pcopy first, source page, destination page, to copy the BG page to the draw UI page. So that, like, we'll always keep the BG page with the background data because it's big and heavy, and we'll splat that over the top of the UI page. Then for the moment, just for testing, locate like 1010 print. This is our UI, hello. And then once we've done all of our rendering of the UI, we will switch back to the visible page here. So this is my plan, basically. I think I might... I might need to move these screen commands out. Wow, really? Because, again, this is QBasic. We can't just pass functions around. We can't pass functions into render scene here. And we already have a bunch of things like menu edit, menu exit, which we're in turn calling something else, right? Yeah, draw frame. We've got a bunch of utility functions around. It looks like I was already using pcopy here. I don't know, maybe it would work. Because each thing will temporarily turn the draw page to something else. Do drawing, and then put it back on visible page, which is page 0. And what we could do, it's 4 o'clock now, Bobby. Can you wait half an hour? Half an hour, wait. 30 minutes, dinner soon. Yeah? We could do like that, and it'll be quick because it's drawing off screen. And then it doesn't matter too much if we have another function that does another bit of background stuff. It will probably be okay. Let's give it a go. Let's just try, and we can optimize things later. Load scene, Should we also render scene? We should probably also render scene. Load game is doing that. Where would we put this main? Okay, we've got a main loop function. Great. Key is get keys. What we'll do is we will draw, render scene there. Handle some keys. Do those keys. I think this will work. I mean, we can't really tell anything's changed. The menu is flickering slightly, and I do want to fix that. But that's not high priority. Import. Okay. So is that now? No, it's not. It hasn't changed to what like it considers the background file. I am running low on brain power here, so like, you know, I could take a break and we could go for longer, but I have limited spoons available, so short streams, you know, here and there, I can do that for you. But why did it not update the screen, I wonder? When we do menu edit, we do import DOSdraw, blah, 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 blah. Would we want to call another, like, render scene here, maybe? Hey, at least you're streaming. At least I'm streaming stuff, yeah. We're doing something. What exactly? I'm not sure. Not feeding cat, that's what we're doing. Not doing, yeah. Feed the cat! Yeah, we'll do that soon, I think, said. You see, this screen should be overwritten, I think. Because we imported stuff. How did I make the newspaper thing? Let's see if I have a bang command for it. Yeah, so DenseQuix has made a web-based version of there's an old DOS program called The Draw, and it's got very similar sort of functionality. You can draw, but in text mode. So, you know, I've got stuff in the Struth directory here. Gamedev. How play? Oh, that's not quite right. Wrong file. But hey, it's pretty. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it's tricky because, like, there's palettes involved. So we're currently using the default palette, which has brown as the darker yellow color. But for this particular screen, when I load it in Struth, I'm actually loading it with that color is just a dark yellow and not a brown. And I don't know if I want to figure out palette handling for this game as well. Like, you'd have to associate a palette with each scene. Difference between BS, BST, and DAT files. BS is just bsave, which is the file format that Help. Index. There's a function in QuickBasic and QBasic called bsave, which just saves a memory image from a particular offset, and we're using it to store whatever's currently on screen in a nice, easy to reload format that's nice and quick. So I just called that .bs because it amuses me. BST was a mistake when I was doing the editing of the file name there. I was trying to replace .dat with .bs, and it only overwrote the first 2 characters, so we got that weird file name there. Dat, I just used it for like data. The file format that the DOSdraw program gives you is literally just the data. So it's 4096 bytes for an 80 by 25 16 color array of characters. QuickBasic, when it does this bsave thing, it's adding a 7-byte header to it. I haven't reverse engineered it or anything, it's just like, okay, it's adding a 7-byte header to it. We can probably have a look. So, yeah, we've got a bunch of 4,000, sorry, I was wrong there, 4,000 byte files that was made by DOSdraw, and 4,007 byte files that's basically the exact same data, but QuickBasic has added its 7 bytes of header to it. And the extensions I'm using there are just bullshit, completely pulled out of my ass. Not standard in any way. I saw some stuff in menu edit where we were doing pcopy, right? Or was it something else? Menu exit does this, but that's fine because this menu only ever goes like one layer and then exits. But I suppose it would be nice if we could just rely on the new render thing that we've got to restore the screen afterwards. So let's kill that off. Whoa, what's all this nerdy shit? Hey, the G-Funk, we're just doing nerdy shit to attract nerds to this channel, such as yourself. Quick basic programming for the DOSember Game Jam. Trying to do something. How are you? Good to see you, mate. Have a shout out. The G-Funk actually streams regularly. You should go follow them. I have a piece of paper that says I'm a nerd. No, you're not. That's fake nerdism. Yeah. Good to see you. I'm actually running out of steam, and the cat, he's very hungry and wants her dinner. Yeah. It actually looks like she's got a little tie on. That's quite nice. Yeah. Oh, I can't zoom out on this stupid touchscreen. Steam? No, this is Twitch. I'll see myself out. Badum-tish, yes. So what was I doing? I was doing this menu thing for this game I'm writing, right? So I don't know if you've seen this before, G-Funk. Path not found. Great. What did I break? What broke? Can I, like, rerun from the start? Path not found. Why does it... It's only breaking because you're here now, G-Funk. You're watching me, and now it's like, oh, I'm going to break while G-Funk's watching. I'm going to destroy the reputation of James Neko as a professional game dev streamer. Yeah, this is XG Gold, isn't it? No, it's QBasic. Print file name. File name? Oh, I have to do screen 0000. File name. That's interesting. It's trying to load. Oh, we're in the wrong directory. That's why. We're in the wrong directory entirely. Yeah, I'm trying to make all other streamers cancel their streams, so only I remain. It may be the only way I can get to partner. Yeah, just Battle Royale your way to the top there. Okay, we're in the wrong directory, and it's all because of this shell that we opened to show you what's going on. Apparently, it actually, yes, Poppy. Apparently, it moved what directory we're actually in. We're supposed to be in this directory. I would not have expected this subshell to actually change the top level directory that we're in. Okay, fine. It's DOS, it's fine. So this is iffy, interactive fiction for you. And all I have at the moment is a menu that lets you hopefully import things. Gamedev. Yes, Poppy. So I can import a file that I've made in DensQuix's DOS program, like this. And the idea that I've got, right, is I can string some of these screens together like a PowerPoint presentation, but in DOS. And if you have that sort of ability to go from screen to screen, and I'll add some sort of buttons or something you can push, I don't know, then you've basically got an interactive fiction game. It doesn't have to be super interactive. You can just kind of go along a linear story if you want. And that'd be good. That's something I think is accomplishable for this particular game jam. And if it works, then that's even better, because I'll be making a game engine that other people can use, even if they're not programmers. They can use to make their own dream interactive fiction game. Poppy, we need to talk. And by talk, I mean we're not going to be just yelling and whinging all the time. You need to wait patiently for dinner. We'll have soon. We'll have the early dinner soon, okay? Just wait. And don't worry, I totally get what you mean with these little things. Some of the classes I am teaching are learning how to install Linux servers. And there are so many spelling mistakes with the cat and sudo commands. Yeah. Cat command, best command. So let's see. It's 4:14. 15 more minutes, Poppy. And then we'll get Poppy her dinner. And I'll call it stream because I'm tired and she's hungry. I really like what you've done here. Well done with what you've done so far. Thank you. A lot of it is reusing stuff that I did for Struth, my game for the previous year's game jam. And I still don't know why this is not working correctly. But hang on, let's see if I press escape, I get the exit menu. If I press escape again, yeah, okay, it's not undrawing itself now, which is a problem. I was trying to fix that. If I can fix that, that'll be good. So we've got main loop. It renders the scene, which in theory is rendering... You know what? We didn't see that particular message I left. It's supposed to have "this is a UI, hello" on it. Do I need to be in color? It's gonna flush out to become a new Ultima game, yeah? Can you add secret line that if someone types golly, it responds with G-Funk says hi? Could probably do that. Sure. No, I like Easter eggs, G-Funk. I like these sort of things. Let's totally have that as a thing. You know, in my last game, in Struth, if you type XYZZY, it says nothing happens. And that, you know, that's an older reference to older things and not our favorite streamer formerly known as MZizzy. But, you know, I put an Easter egg in there. I don't know if anyone found it. So we're in the main loop, and then we do global keys. Meow. Yes, you said that. I was just going to suggest Zizzy, but the response now is no. It's foolery. Yeah, that would be a good one. Meow. Okay. Someone is being a whingy baby. Whingy babies get cuddled because they are babies. One moment, please. Gonna get cuddled? Yeah. Cuddled on stream, no less. Look at the whingy baby, everybody. Whingy baby going meow, meow. Yes. Say hello to everybody. Say hello. Yes. This is the whingy baby who says she's very, very hungry, but she doesn't want treats. She wants wet food. Yes. Hello, kitty. G-Funk says hello. G-Funk says hello. Are you going to wait patiently for another 12 minutes, Poppy? 12 minutes, and then we'll get you an early dinner. And that's already spoiling you rotten. Yes? Being cuddled? Wow, you can actually pick her up and cuddle her. I thought she might be the no-touching kind of kitty. Well, Stardrop, when I go pick her up, and you know, when she ran to the kitchen there, she realized a bit late that I was rushing towards her not to give her food, but to pick her up. She realized she's being a bit whingy, and that when she's a whingy baby, she gets cuddled. Yes. You go to cuddle jail, don't you? When I pick her up, she usually does a little meow that is a special meow that she reserves for this action when I'm picking her up. And it goes something like, meow. Like, oh no. Like, no, I don't want to be picked up, but, you know, it's admitting that I am the big cat in this relationship, and I have the ability to pick her up without her consent. Yeah, so she puts up with it, but she protests. She has a special protest meow. Now I'm going to put you down, and I'm going to fix my code, and then we're going to have dinner soon, okay? Yeah. Okay, I think I would need to add a gain as well as the compressor to this, is what I'm looking at. But she's tolerating you because she thinks food will be the reward. Yeah, well, usually it's a case of cuddling is the punishment for being a whingy baby. So we call this menu exit thing if I push escape. And we can look at it, and we know that we're drawing the frame, blah 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 blah, exit sub. So this should go back to the main loop, and because we're not actually exiting, we should render the scene again. And render the scene should be Oh, I think I see what's going on. I was going to the Draw UI page, and then I was copying the background to the Draw UI page, and then I'm pretend drawing some UI. But then what I need to do is another pcopy. From the Draw UI page to the visible page. And then we switch back to the visible page. In terms of like default drawing stuff. We've been looking at the visible page the whole time. So this should refix our menu. Ooh, this is a UI. Hello. Awesome. Not quite what I was expecting. Something is broken in a different way now. But here's our menu there, and here is the escape menu. No, I do not want to quit. It goes away. I see the cursor remains in place, which is a problem. But this is better. It's just like, where is the background now? Got a very sooky doggo by my feet at the moment. Big crack of thunder just went overhead. Ooh. It actually feels a bit cooler around my place too. I wonder if we're going to get some storms at my place. It would be nice. The forecast was rain today, but we only had a little bit of rain in the early morning, and as a consequence, it's been humid as fuck all day. Okay, let's exit this. So there should be a background, and instead we've got black. So something has failed, I think, to load data into this BG page. And load scene was supposed to load data into this BG page. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. This thing we've got here, right? B-load screen. It's calling... Let's have a look at it. It's calling magic quick basic B-load stuff. James, MP, how are you doing? How are you? Have a shout out, because everybody, this is my mod, Empress Vel. Just had surgery recently, so might not be streaming immediately again, but has been playing some Cyberpunk, and we've been watching shows in the Discord, and is lovely. The reason this is not working is all of my other drawing stuff, like, where was it? This stuff. When you locate and color and print and things, it will use the page that you've nominated as drawing to, which you can switch around with the quick basic commands here. You can draw to an off-screen page and then flip it back, and it's really cool and stuff. What we're doing with bsave and bload, where is it? Is bypassing all of that, because we're doing this defseg nonsense that's like telling, like, here's a hex address to load raw data into memory for. So this is always going to screen 0, aka the active page. We couldn't load it to screen 3 directly. We could, but only if we figure out what the damned hex address of that screen is. Okay, thanks. Hendrix and I are sitting on the couch watching you now. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, Hendrix. How am I? I'm okay. We have a cat. The cat is hungry, so she's been hanging around, having a bit of a sook. It's not quite dinner time yet. I'm thinking honestly of ending stream in about 5 minutes, and we'll go give her her dinner, and then I can have a rest and have my dinner as well. I love that transition. Thank you, Stardrop. I'm very proud of it. I worked on it a fair bit. It was a bit tricky to get going because I had to kind of make my own static. I couldn't reuse the static from the Ultima 7 intro. No, they didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. That's... If you thought that was anything, that was not anything. Can I figure out a way to modify this to load to the back buffer? Because like we could... I mean, geez, we could parameterize this somehow to load to a particular screen. This might be something I have to, like, research off-stream. Defseg address. The segment to be used by another statement or function. If address is omitted, dgroup is used. Oh, of course. This is the really dark, scary, spiderweb encrusted parts of QuickBasic, where it just gets into the DOS implementation details. No abstractions here. There are memory segments, and oh no, there's a function called sad. I feel sad now. What we could just try is hack on this. The part's designed by wizards. Yes. Hello, gamedev Jeff. How are you? Like shout out. I mean, I guess I should shout out Pixel Turkey for you. The actual gameplay for gamedev Jeff's and Pixel Turkey's stuff you can see on Pixel Turkey stream. They've made a couple of games. One in particular was a DOS game called The Zen of Kayaking, which is also like text mode and stuff like we're doing here. And I should have switched screens to show you, like, this is the stuff I'm working with. It's weird and confusing. Running out of brain power. Yeah, I was thinking, what if we just hack this? What if we add 4,000 bytes to B800? What would that even look like? But wait, this is a segment address, right? So this is in multiples of 16K? 4,000 bytes. Can you even afford that many bytes? I don't know. Well, I mean, this is... I can do maths on this, right? Can I do, like, that? Oh, did we crash? I think we crashed. I think adding was not the correct direction to use there. I need to break out of this if I can. What was it? Scroll lock? I think we crashed it. Like, I think we crashed QuickBasic properly. It was not expecting us to fuck around with memory like that. And I'm pretty sure for DOSBox it's control scroll lock to simulate the control break, because you can't use control break for some reason. Alright, I'm killing the window. Hopefully things were saved. It seems like it thinks Alt is held down or Control. There we go. Freed my cursor. B load screen. Alright, it didn't save our little edit there. What if we subtract 4,000? Okay, that didn't do anything, but it didn't crash it. What if we subtract 8,000? That is too much to subtract. Control break. Control function break. Control shift break. No. No, it is broken. And I think I will have to... Hello? Something I'm doing, like, broke my modifier keys as well. I guess that's like DOSBox grabbing a modifier key and then not releasing it or something. Let's just run this without modifications and confirm that we haven't screwed things over for ourselves. Okay, cool. Do I have any edits? Status. Yes. Git diff. Okay. I will commit that only as like a temporary commit. Dash A. Whip. Alright. So, I'm gonna call it here. The cat is angsty. I have run up against a problem which I don't know how to fix right now, and it needs a bit of research. Great time to just call it. And what we will do is we will give Poppy what she so richly deserves, an early dinner with wet food, and we have to take her pills as well, right? So what I do is I give Poppy 2 of her thyroid pills now with a bit of wet food, and she'll eat that up, and that gets her the rest of the wet food. So let's do that, and then we can raid out and relax. Yes. Well, I don't know what I'm doing for my dinner, but we've got Poppy's dinner sorted out now. Why is she cute eating? Yes, feed the cat. Until she is satisfied. Stardrop? She cannot be sated. She is a bottomless black hole of absorbing wet food. Thanks, mate. The good news is that class learned it throughout the semester, so they're now in their final assessment where they can do just exactly what they previously did again. Cert 3, that's the basics. I need to know it as the teacher as well as course. Cool. Sounds like things are going well for you, G-Funk. I'm glad. We were both out of employment for a while there, and it was a bit tricky. Thanks for stream. Sorry I couldn't stop by earlier. No worries, G-Funk. I haven't been streaming to any kind of schedule lately. I'm just doing it like if I feel I have enough energy, which is rare. But yeah. She doesn't like wet food. She loves wet food. She inhales wet food. Happy dinner time, Poppy. Yeah, it's doing pretty well overall. I think I'm looking forward to doing it again next semester. Well, hopefully it'll be better, like it'll be easier next time, because it'll just be like more routine. Oh, I meant dry food. Yeah, she tends to get a bit fussy-faced about the dry food, because wet food exists, and why is this not wet food? So what I've been doing is I've been trying to tell her, like, okay, here's some biscuits. If you eat the biscuits, I will then give you a little bit of wet food. Yeah, okay, it looks like we're finished for the day. Let me go get the camera back. Thinking of starting a GoFundMe to keep you both out of work for the good of mankind. Hey! I mean, look, if we had universal basic income, I would be doing a lot more streaming. Here's hoping I'll have plenty of time for DOSember. Yeah, DOSember. It's coming up soon. So I'm gonna go look for people to raid. Why not? I know that Sonneveld might be starting soon, and I'm pretty sure I saw Emmy start up a stream earlier, so let's have a look. Emmy streams have also been not always necessarily on a particular schedule, but when she has spoons for it, and can't blame her. Oh, did she... That's weird. I could swear I saw a Discord announcement. Alright, well, let's see. What about Atari Beer Pong? I'm just loading this stream up now. I haven't been to all ABP in a while. Sorry, just a moment. I am wrangling browser tabs and things. What do I want for my dinner? Like, I sought Poppy out, but then I'm like, I don't really have anything set up for myself. I suppose I could get pizza. Pizza would be nice. Should we get pizza? Robot Necko's the best kind of response could go horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah, pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Not ABP, he's Commodore Flip Cup. Right, yeah. This is not Atari. Commodore Flip Cup, okay. Well, we've, can you somehow pre-raid a channel before the stream starts? I don't think so. I mean, you can do an offline raid. You can raid someone who's offline. It just doesn't really do much. Technical difficulties for Emmy. Oh well. It happens. We had our own technical difficulties at the start of stream too. Yep. Let's raid Commodore Flip Cup. Here's a default raid message. You can use if you want. I should copy it myself. And I am rapidly running out of brain power and I'm hungry, so I will go send you off to the lovely Commodore Flip Cup, and I will see you when I see you. Sorry there's no schedule. It's just how it has to be at the moment with my depleted brain power. So, wow. I think I might need to also deal with a litter tray situation. So yeah, take care everyone. Love you bloody faces. See you later. Take care. Bye.